Hi Metalheads, willkommen zum METALHEADS FOREVER Show Nummer 426 am 29.08.2022. Schön, dass ihr dabei seid zu einer weiteren genialen Show, einer legendären Show. Heute haben wir Gäste aus der USA, nämlich Blind Illusion. Progressive Thrash Metal vom Feinsten. Und das Geile daran ist, die ganze Band ist heute da. Alle. Komplett. Das wird ein Spaß heute. Freut euch. Aber erstmal gibt es natürlich einen Warm-up. Und heute sind es Storm Warrior mit dem Song Northman, We Are. Ich würde sagen, Let the Madness begin right now. Norseman we are. Storm Warrior. Geht gleich gut los. Jetzt wisst ihr, wo die Reise heute hingeht. Heute gibt es geilen Thrash-Metal, Freunde. Und wir sagen, gleich geht's los mit Blind Illusion und Proto Molecule. Ein brandneuer Song vom neuen Album, das jetzt bald rauskommt. Hier sind Blind Illusion. Let the madness begin right now. Jawohl, geile Band, Blind Illusion. Bevor ich die alle reinlasse, die Wilden, unsere Freunde auf Twitch und auf Facebook, seid gegrüßt. Auf Facebook bitte rübergehen zu YouTube. In einer Stunde wird es schon der Zaunverstreich sein. Also YouTube geht die Show bis zum Ende und wir sagen, heute haben wir viele aus Österreich dabei. Ich grüße Indro Gerodet, Hannes Rittel, Gerd von Beethoven und Rest der Gang. Und jetzt begrüße ich ganz herzlich Blind Illusion, Mark on the guitar and vocals. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, buddy? And bass and drums, Tom and Andy. Here we go.
Hello.
After this video, I know you guys are crazy, but I think in a positive way.
It's a disciplined insanity.
Yes. All in the name of thrash metal. Very cool. Doc, you can hear us? Everything cool?
I can definitely hear you. Sure.
All right. We start always the same way. I ask how you became a metalhead, how you became a hard rocker or thrash metal, whatever. Go back to your childhood. Mark, I start with you on top. Mark, you look the youngest from all.
Well, so when I was young, I was listening to all kinds of music, Beatles and things like that, Johnny Cash. But when I heard Black and Deep Purple as well, but Black Sabbath was when my head exploded and I wanted to hear nothing but metal for the longest of time.
Yeah.
I was
so
13.
was Black Sabbath your the poster band? You want to be like them? Was it the magic moment? You want to be on stage like Tony Iommi or Ozzy Osbourne, Geezer Butler, whatever?
I'd always wanted to be on stage since like the age of 5. But Black Sabbath.
All right. Doc, you're next. How everything started with you?
It's kind of similar with me too. Some friends of mine got the early Black Sabbath records and I managed to borrow them or steal them or whatever happened. And I was around 12 and I had a guitar and I started figuring out how to play the songs. They're not particularly technically advanced, but they're still metal and still very much inspiring for a young guy trying to figure out how to play. So Black Sabbath plays a role in a lot of developing guitar players. But that was a good time discovering the instrument back then when we were little.
It's amazing how many metalheads during the last 426 shows mentioned Tony Iommi as a big influence, and it's an achievement, no? If you think how they started and didn't know what they're doing, they had some ideas, saw this horror movie, Black Sabbath, and then they opened the box of the Pandora.
Absolutely. But you have to remember back then there wasn't very many other options. I mean, you had Led Zeppelin that were like beating everybody's heads in with acoustic guitars. Like, really, that wasn't really exciting enough. It was way more important and interesting to hear totally distorted, ruined speakers from Tony. Like playing these dissonant chords, and it was excellent, But what else was there? I mean, you had some Jimi Hendrix, so, he was doing his stuff. It was kind of distorted and crazy. You had the Who. I mean, there was like the MC5, but it wasn't like today where there's 10 million bands that are all like, have the latest, greatest distortion amp and, have it down to a science how to get the tone. Back then, it was very much experimental, really, and Tony he forged the road,
But it's funny because we have today some two albums, actually two and a little bit from the new album comes out in October, right?
Yes, October 7th.
Yes, so we play one song and we play in the beginning and in the end again as a little bit promotion. But for example, the Sane Asylum was remastered, and this was for me like the early Metallica. It's very rough. So how comes this part from being the old school hard rocker to thrash metal?
I don't know. I'm not sure how to answer that one.
Yeah.
I mean, having that thing available as a re-release only makes really good sense, mostly because it's been sought after and out of print, or at least difficult to get. And now it's going to be available, in a much more large scale. But I mean, it's really great to re-release the classics for sure.
I love it. Great album. Great. Let's go to Tom. Tom, you know what when I watch you playing, you have a technique like you're slapping the bass. I'm not a bass player, but you play with your thumb, right?
I play all fingers, thumb, everything. I don't really use a pick. I just, use my whole hand, almost kind of like flamenco style sometimes, to get the chords snapping right where I want them. But
that's right.
Yeah.
Great. Tom, how everything started with you? Same Black Sabbath or
1983, I was 13, and all my friends played guitar, and they all loved Van Halen, and they wanted me to jam with them, so I picked up my bass, and then I'm like, I don't want to play Running with the Devil all the rest of my life. It's too boring. So I started listening to Rush and Primus and all the bass-heavy bands, and that's what I got my influence from. And it's so great to be playing with these guys, because it's like the perfect kind of music for me to be playing now that I've actually learned how to play bass a lot better.
And to be honest, not long ago, I had some feeling. I want to listen to all the old stuff like Dio, the first, all the first, and the first Van Halen was a masterpiece. This was like you never can top this album. This was perfect for this time for me. I loved it so much. Running with the Devil, what a hell of a track.
Yeah.
So we have two Black Sabbath and we have Van Halen. Andy,
Me.
your story.
Well, goes back a long time ago, but my first was Kiss, Peter Criss. Our first music, and a fan of it. But then it was Sabbath I always say Sabbath was our Beatles, for metal, because
Yes,
that was they laid we're just still trying to follow them. The new Ozzy and everything with Iommi on it. It's heavy. I love it. And Bill Ward, underrated.
Very much so.
Bill was a crazy
Sabbath.
motherfucker. He was great. Last Friday I played what song was Straight as the Crowbar Flies, and one of our nerd and big metalhead is Metal Mortal, and when he saw that Blind Illusion coming, he freaked out and then he mentioned actually Andy. Andy, this is Metal Mortal, but no photo. Please give a shout out to Metal Mortal, because he's today absolutely. He said the red carpet is out for you guys. So Andy, greet Metal Mortal. He will be very happy.
So, brother, what's going down? Thanks for the support, and we'll look forward to jamming for you soon somewhere on the road. Here or there.
I know Metal Mortal very well. He's just crying right now.
What city is he in?
This makes his day today.
Cool.
Well, good for you. I hope,
yes.
Hope you score something.
All right.
On.
Today the chat is burning. Tamo, our chef cook. If he ever comes to Germany and you need some great food, Tamo is the man. He's the motherfucker.
All right.
He's a chef. He's a metal chef.
Killer.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're definitely coming over in 2023. We're playing the Storm Crusher Festival.
Metal Mortal, he's touched. I told you. All right.
I'm hungry.
Let's talk about the first song. This is the video is fantastic. When I saw the video, I said, you know what, these guys, they are crazy. I like this. There is a sense of humor. You not take it too seriously. This is a nice one on this album, on this video. So the next album called Wrath of the Gods, right?
Right.
Will be will be released when?
October 7th.
October 7th. There's only one video out so far, right?
What?
There's only one video
Straight
out.
as the crowbar flies is the other.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Later on.
Ein-
Für alle da draußen, I have to
zwei.
switch to German. There is the link blindillusion.com. Da bekommt ihr alles,
Oh.
was ihr haben wollt. Da gibt es Merchandise, da gibt es CDs und alles. Also, ran an die Buletten und holt euch die geilen Alben. I would say, tell me a story, Proto Molecule. What is the backstory? Who writes the lyrics from you guys?
Oh, we all do. Yeah, that was Dougie's title, you know, and I wrote some lyrics for it. And then I got stuck at if that ain't hot and metal, tell me what is. And so I called up Rick Hanolt from Exodus and I asked him the question. And he said, intravenous nanobots to fight the virus. So that goes right in there too. So, you know, the lyrics come from everywhere. And, you know, I run it by these guys and then they add and subtract and it's great, you know.
Pretty good team effort for sure.
Absolutely.
So you get some help from Gary Holt. It's actually a very good help, right?
No, Rick Hanolt.
Rick Hanolt. I understand Holt. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the backstory to the song?
Well, I mean, it's like this. Like Tom and Mark were living together at the beginning, at the breakout of the pandemic, and everybody started watching shows, binge watching shows on streaming TV, and they started watching a whole bunch of different stuff. And one of them was this Canadian show, I think it's Canadian, called The Expanse. And The Expanse is it has a lot to do with interplanetary space development, war, all that stuff. And they discovered this outrageous, strange extraterrestrial compound called the proto-molecule. And they got me involved with the song too, because I'm sorry, with the show, because it was really fascinating, and we all started binge watching it. And it was just inspiring. We didn't have too much going on during the pandemic, and so we just got into writing a lot of material and songs and recording, and one thing led to another, and we wound up doing the record as well. And but that's kind of where that came from. How do you feel about that, Tom? That's kind of the way it went down, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a mishmash, and then with the the nanobots going into the veins, you know, and fighting the proto-molecule inside of them, and that's how we made the video idea, you know, almost like the movie Fantastic Voyage. We get shrunken down, injected into Mark's blood. Mark comes out on the white blood cell, and he's fighting off the proto-molecule too. So it's just having a bit of fun.
Yeah, Harold O injects me with the proto-molecule. And then the mad scientist, Doug, he puts in the intravenous nanobots. And that's the nanobots are like these guys shrunk down, you know.
I like the impression of Mark's face when he was strapped.
Yeah.
That was great acting. It was a great, you could be a great actor, you know.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
Totally.
I can see him in old Western.
There was great actors all over the place. Everybody had good positions and roles. It was pretty funny. We had a lot of fun doing it.
I love it. It's great. When we see it again, for all, wir alle, die jetzt, I tried to speak a little German to our guys, für alle, die jetzt versäumt haben, ich spiele den Song nochmal, das Video, ganz am Schluss. Also, dranbleiben. All right, let's go back to the past for the Szene Asylum album. And I had to choose some songs, and I liked very much Smash the Crystal. And I did a little bit, because there's no video available, so I did a little bit animation with the earth, you know. And here's Smash the Crystal from the Szene Asylum. There was a good question from Herman Weise.
Yeah.
Do you remember the gig? Your drums fell apart and you called for hammer and nails.
Mark.
The audience misunderstood. Who remember the story?
What was it that the drums were moving forward and we were asking for something to keep them in place?
Yeah, that was the question.
Yeah.
Was that the Bielefeld show?
Or was it
Because
when
Eric's drums were just like flying out because they were like the set that were on the stage and there was no rug underneath it. And just like the whole time, and I would go over and stand in front of it for a while and try to keep it from flying out of the way, but it was a nightmare for the poor guy.
I remember when we had to fix the drum pedal in the middle of the stage.
Yeah, that was another one.
That was fun.
That's the Spinal Tap I asked you before. Do you have any Spinal Tap moments? Here we go. We have
Many.
Oh,
Let me know if you have some crazy stories you
Well,
want to share with us.
the drum
Please.
pedal one was pretty good. We were playing this little awesome bar in Belgium in a town called Aalst, which is right near Brussels. And the place was sold out, and it's a great place to play. It's small but insane. Anyway, the double bass drum pedal fell apart. There was trouble with some of the fasteners on it, and Eric didn't know what to do. So like we just took the whole pedal out, and then me and two guys from the support band Fusion Bomb, me and Nipple, we grabbed our tools and we just jumped in and completely repaired this thing. It was a little bit more complicated than tightening a drum key. There was something that came loose. We needed hex
It was like a bicycle chain style.
It was ridiculous. We got it done in like inside of a minute and handed it back to him, and he put it on, and we finished the show. It was hilarious. I mean,
Show
it
must
was like
go
a
on.
race car pit stop.
Herman,
Yeah, it was a
Herman
total
wrote, in Bielefeld, the audience shouted for a song called Hammer and Nails.
At the Negasonic, right?
The Negasonic, that was that show, but that wasn't in Bielefeld.
Bielefeld was the other one, up in the warehouse.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful.
that was
Right.
That was crazy too. Jesus, a lot of nutty shit went on that night. But
If you have more
yeah.
stories, we have.
what about the
FA
story when you guys were walking through the little town playing, and Mark was playing guitar and you were filming him, Tom? That story is like one of legend.
He had his Davy Crockett outfit on with his tassels and just walking through the streets of this quiet little beautiful town and busking, and just singing covers and country songs and all this kind of stuff and being loud and
Really loud.
It seemed like a very quiet little neighborhood town, and it's just like super conservative people would come and walk up and stop and start watching him. And then they would genuinely be like, "This is amazing. Thank you very much." And like in America, somebody would be calling the cops on you for sure. But I mean, it was great. And then we walked around and looked into the record store, tried to get in there, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, we saw the poster in the record store of the Headbangers Open Air Festival. And so I said, hey, that's the poster. Hey, let us in. We want to see.
Later on after the show, I'm talking to the guy, Thomas, that put the show on, and he said, "Oh, I heard Mark was drunk in town earlier." And he was yelling at the record store, and I was like, "Mark doesn't drink. He's just a loud, boisterous guy." And then it was just like a misunderstood
He's
moment.
not drunk, he's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's drunk running around the town. Nope, he's just being Mark.
Was he naked? No, not naked, but crazy.
Yeah.
With a battery-powered amp and an electric guitar.
Yeah. That was great. That was my introduction to Mark.
A friend of mine, he was a musician, he was on tour, and he got drunk, and he was private rooms, it was not hotel. So he was so fucking drunk that he forgot where he lives. And he walking around, and he rang the bell in the house, and they finally, and they opened the door. He walked in and said, "Hello," and he walked in to the sofa and slept. In the morning, he woke up and said, "Okay." In the morning, he woke up and said, "Excuse me, where I am?" I said, "Yeah." The question is, "Who are you?" I said, "Oh fuck, is not my room?" Said, "No, I don't know who you are, but you were so drunk and he slept there." And she didn't call the police because he was so drunk and wasted, So
That's crazy.
It happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, it's like Mark's just wild and crazy, and it's naturally like that. So we just let him be that way, and it seems to work out really fine. I mean, it can be frightening to people that aren't ready for it, but then it's always entertaining. So it's just a cool side of the band. That's how this works.
On the first big show we played, the Headbangers Open Air in 2017, and we played our set, and there was still some time left for us, and we didn't quite have enough material for the whole night because it was our first tour, you know, and we just had enough time to practice. And so Mark got up and did his Shaolin routine, and everybody loved it. And then the next year when we played at the Keep It True Festival, people were disappointed that we didn't have the Kung Fu act part of the show. You know, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, Elvis did it, Mark. Yeah? Elvis did it on stage. His karate moves.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to the album 2018. And you mentioned before Led Zeppelin. The question is, why not cover the Black Sabbath tune? And you covered a Led Zeppelin tune.
Yeah.
Now I got
pretty badass tune.
We just like, I always liked the Immigrant Song, and Mark was good at playing it and singing it, and the band sounded good. And so I don't know. I personally thought it was a great choice. But why didn't we do Black Sabbath? Interesting. I never thought of that. Into the Void or something, you know, something completely ruthless. I don't know. We never thought about it. Good question.
Yeah. Did you ever heard the project from Zach Wild? Zach Sabbath?
Yes.
No. Yes. I've heard of the band. I've heard of this thing.
Hey, you must check it out. Great.
I think
because
there's also a little bit of history between Blind Illusion playing that song, isn't there, Mark?
Well, yeah, we used to do that song way back. You know, we did it on tour, on the Insane Asylum tour.
Ah, good. I mean, for me personally, I thought it was totally natural. It came across great. Tom played it great. We just kind of like did it, and there wasn't much thought about it. It just was cool, and that's why there was a lot of history. Cool.
I love the song too. I mean, Immigrant Song is a classic. And what you changed, you replaced that you do it with the guitar. That is great.
Yeah.
Let's play it. Video done by me. A little bit video with I brought the cover to life. And here we go. Here is Blind Illusion from the album 2018. Here is the Immigrant Song.
Under the ice and snow with the midnight sun of the hot snow. Hammer of the gods will drive our ships to new lands. Fight the horde, singing and crying. Valhalla, I am coming. On we sweep, with crashing roar. Our only goal will be the Western Shore. We come to the land of the ice and snow with the midnight sun of the hot snow. How soft your fields so green can whisper tales of fall, of how we calm the tides of war. We are your overlords. On we sweep, with crashing roar. Our only goal will be the Western Shore. Now you better stop. Rebuild all your ruins. For peace and trust can win the day, despite all your losing.
Fantastic version. Love it. I love
Thank
the raspy voice. Very cool.
Right on.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah.
It's an interesting version. It's I forgot about doing the vocals in the beginning with the guitar. That was really cool. I mean, it's just cool. It's different, and the guitar screams a lot better than Mark does on that part. I mean, it doesn't sound like Robert Plant. He sounds like Mark. You know, so you got to like change up. You got to change the voicing of the instruments and make things happen sometimes where you can't get it normally. You know.
Makes no sense to try to copy because it was,
Yeah.
was already there.
Exactly.
It was already done. You know, why I should do this, you know? And then if you try to copy, they will always say, no, you know, they did it better. But this was their own version. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What the first one I heard was you replaced the high voice. That was actually already, oh, that's cool. This is different. Yeah, like you said, yeah.
Probably Mark's idea. I can't remember. It's mine or his. I don't remember. But it was
No,
worked
I
out
can't.
great.
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you know, we tried it with the guitar and the vocals, and I was actually hitting it here and there, but then I lost my voice. So,
Yeah.
All right.
Too high.
I would say we go to the next song re-released and remastered from a Saints Asylum. This is 2 songs in a row now. It's Blood Shower. Also very cool. I would say we go to the next, right? Here we go. Here's Blood Shower from the Saints Asylum album. Love it. Tell me about this cover. Who
Which
designed this cover for the Sane
Petty.
Asylum?
Oh no. I don't know, Mark.
Well, going back to Black Sabbath, hand of God has struck the hour, right? So that's the hand of God with the chi around it, holding the earth, keeping the earth from going into the garbage can where all the demon hands are grabbing at it.
Cool. I love this. I love this cover. It's great. And I see already the reaction from our friends from Harald. How cool is the middle part? Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Eschgeil.
So, Blood Shower. As a great title, huh? Blood Shower. Who came up with these ideas?
Yeah.
And the backstory, Mark? You wrote the lyric?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a lot was going on, with the Middle East and everything. And so it was just a commentary,
So no more backstory? Or don't be shy, Mark. Don't be shy.
What can you say?
backstory.
It might become politically incorrect. That's
Absolutely.
the problem.
All right. I got it. Okay. But you have
It was the
lyrics on
80s, man. It was the 80s.
And no, it's the 80s. 80s were, honestly, the whole thing about what the hell is politically correct and what is not has just gotten so completely out of hand in the 2020s as compared to what it used to be in the 80s. We had trouble back then with the PRMC and Tipper Gore and that bullshit that went down with Dee Snider going to court and Dave Mustaine and all that. But things have really gotten worse since then. So back then, when it was kind of cool to talk about raping and murdering your wife and plundering your town until everything's burned down to the ground, that's like, you gotta think about that a little bit more now, before you.
I agree.
Unfortunately, personally,
But
the
you can't
concept of a
cancel
blood
it.
shower is epic to me. The idea of a body going into a shredder and having nothing but blood and guts and shredded bloody shower pouring out of the end is awesome. But what the hell doesn't
Speaking
fly.
of that, little bit of when we put the new album out, the distributor asked us, what do these lyrics mean to this song? Everybody's super sensitive to school shootings right now. We just want to make sure that your song isn't supporting school shootings.
That was amazing.
Oh my god! So you had to explain, it's like a James Bond reference or something, just to get them to put out your record.
Mark,
kind of funny.
That was me and Mark, and we were watching this Israeli show called Fauda. And what goes on there with the Israelis against the Palestinians is real and brutal and horrible. And we were inspired by the stuff they were talking about. And so Mark came up with all sorts of outrageous, texts for that song, No Rest Till Budapest, in the end section. And it was, it rose questions. People were asking, what the hell, and Tom's right. That happened. That was recently. And all we were doing is just writing about stuff we saw, really. It wasn't even me. It was Mark coming up with most of the stuff. I helped him out with a couple of words, made him rhyme better, but it was about terrorism, kind of, and that hit a nerve. You have to be careful, Anyway,
the 70s was like everything was allowed to say, everything was cool, and then there started this bullshit, it's getting from year to year worse and worse and worse. Now you can say this, you can say that, man, we grew up to say some words. I don't want to put it now online, but you grow up with this, and suddenly you can't say it anymore. What the bullshit,
Yeah, it goes on in Germany, it goes on in Europe, it goes on in the United States, it goes on everywhere. And, it's just not, it's not like back then it was okay to go against the grain and be brutal and awful. And everybody had lyrics that are about terrible stuff, the stuff I did with Heathens, a lot of the lyrics were outrageous, Andy's got a lot, I'm sure he has a lot of interesting, stories about that same kind of stuff too, because everybody was doing it,
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, watch a Mel Brooks movie from the 80s.
Yeah. Love Mel
Anyways,
Brooks.
all right. We
Let's play
digress.
one more song from the album. This is the last time from the album, and it's the song Banshee. I like the title, Banshee. And
That was from a demo that was on the reissue. Banshee was the Trilogy of Terror demo.
Okay,
Right, Mark?
I am
produced
sure
by-
Metal Mortal he knows about this
Produced by Kirk
because
Hammett.
he's from Kirk Hammett.
Produced by
Him
This
still.
song.
Is it him still?
Cry of the Banshee, yes.
And the singer,
Dave White from Heathen.
So this song now what we hear now, this is produced or the demo?
If Dave's on it,
Cry of the
definitely
Banshee.
the demo.
I think if Flo sees this, Flo he's a big Metallica fan. He's absolutely crazy about Metallica, you know, if he hears this. So here's Banshee. Let's listen. And of course with the cover. Very cool. Yeah, a lot of questions here. Hannes Rittel, if you ever need shows in Austria, this is the man. Hannes Rittel is badass promoter, very cool. He's in contact with Merciful Fate and so this guy can help you out if you need shows in Austria. If you come to Europe, contact Hannes Rittel. He's the man.
Hannes, how you doing?
So, when was this song came out first time?
I believe it was 84. What year was the Exodus Bonded by Blood tour?
85.
Okay, so it was recorded in 84, released in 85.
Here's Benji, Trilogy of Terror, 1985.
There we go.
Here we go. Our guys know it. Tom knows. Tom, Mortal, that's a nerds in our team. They're crazy. They know everything. They are surprised a lot. You know, many bands already they don't have the demos anymore. But like Mortal is a collector. He collects demos. You know, and he has demos even the band don't have anymore. You know.
He needs my demos. I have all sorts of strange demos.
Speaking of demos, Cult Metal is about to put out all of our demos. Aren't they, Mark?
Yeah.
Yes, Cult Metal Classics out of Greece. The demo years 80 to 86. Ultimate Anthology Blind Illusion Volume 2. This is Volume 1. And this is all the recordings from 1979, including Death Noise and Kamikaze.
What keeps you going, Mark? Dog and Andy.
Oh, the music, you know, just new riffs, new lyrics, playing with these guys, you know, just the love of music.
You can't escape it. It's kind of, Andy said it best. He said, we're all lifers. You know, that's true. We're in it for life, you know?
You know, I always love to have guys on in a show like Vicious Rumors already here, or Holy Mother, you know, Mike Tirelli. That's a great guys, and they're still rocking and rolling, you know, and keep the old school metal alive, you know, and for me, there's role models. If you look back 40, 50 years, you know, and still doing it, of course, look at Mark. This is rock and roll in the face right here. But he's in shape, you know, damn, you know, and this is what I love. If musicians, we say, you know, it's not the money anymore, it's that passion. It's right.
Absolutely. You nailed it. Because you can't escape it. You know, you just wake up with songs in your head or the shower or whatever. And there's something going on. I mean, it's like we're working on something new the other day, some new idea that's coming together actually interestingly. And there was an idea that we were trying to think of something to change this one chorus area, and I came up with some melodies in my head. I haven't even shown it to the guys yet, but you know, it doesn't go away. It doesn't stop. You still have ideas. They come back, and you present them, and people say, "Well, that's cool. What about this? We can change that to that," and then it moves forward. I mean, it's all about how you approach it, and also by being inspired all the time. You know, the guys in the band, they're pretty good at listening and trying out ideas too, you know, so it's good chemistry there.
That's great about the musicianship in this band is everybody can play pretty much anything. And so if you have an idea that you want to introduce, you can end up turning it into some kind of epic song.
Yeah. And it inspires the next guy, which is killer, you know.
Or somebody's riff might go with another riff that they already have, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Banshee, is there some special story about before I go to next?
As far as the lyrics go, I had a dream where I was coming out of the room and this little girl with these really crazy eyes, I was carrying a mattress, and she says, "Do you know the Dead?" And in my mind, in the dream, I thought of the Grateful Dead, and I said, "Well, yeah." And then it was like, wrong answer. And the mattress fell on me. And then I woke up totally swimming in my sweat. And so that's how the lyrics came about. But yeah. Actually, some of the riffs in the guitar solo, when the it's like a country riff, you know, that I transposed into metal. And Kirk was like, wow, what's that? You know, and so I showed him the riff. And then later he utilized that in the sanitarium solo. That was very cool.
Yeah,
Very
then there's
cool.
like, I mean, there's also, Mark always has crazy stories about where he gets inspiration for his lyrics. You know, the Crowbar story is beyond belief. I mean, that kind of stuff, it's just like, I don't even know where it comes from. It's just madness, and it's very entertaining, you know? I mean, all that
Sand Demon.
inspiration is always super fun. And
This was the first song I ever saw you, the video. And this is the next one, what is on coming on. So let's play the video first, and then you tell me the story, okay? Here is Straight as the Crowbar Flies. Here we go. It's in Blind Illusion.
Every return inspection, as the goddess breathes life in every orifice and pore, I re-enter my body and I live once more. And the sweat out your eyes, and you throw a look at me, straight as the crowbar flies. 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 Now noticing more inside a game that's another room, singing natural soprano. In love with the sister of the mother of the church of the whore of Babylon. Spread out your ears and spread out your eyes, and you throw the book at me, straight as the crowbar flies. 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 in every orifice and pore. I re-enter my body and I live once more. Your ears and the sweat out your eyes when they throw the book at me, straight as the crowbar flies. 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 Straight as the crowbar flies.
Yes. Awesome. You know what? Now we have to give some credit also to Tom. What a fucking great bass.
Thanks, man.
That's
I mean, I get to play at the top of my whatever I can do. You know, it's so great to play with these guys. They're such great musicians, and it just only makes me better.
If I didn't know this is like a Blind Illusion, and you said this is a new album with Geezer Butler plays bass, I would say yes. That's his.
Yeah, for sure.
Ultimate
I
compliment.
mean, like those guys were saying earlier about Black Sabbath being their initial bands that they loved, and for me as well. When I was a kid, I had 13 cassettes of Black Sabbath. The very first bass line I ever learned was Iron Man. I was at the San Jose flea market, and I bought this old bass that looked like a SG. You know, it never even worked as a plug-in. I just acoustically learned dun, 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 and I was like, I love bass.
Is Geezer Butler your inspiration for bass?
Oh, Geezer Butler, Entwistle. I loved all the Entwistle stuff. And then of course, Geddy
like
Lee.
here, what's an old farts do it better.
Yeah, totally. I like when we played in Germany. We played with Fusion Bomb and another band, Hateful Agony, and they were the young guys. And somebody in the local newspaper said, and then the old bags came on and blew everybody away. It was kind of funny.
Mark, Metal Mortal asked, do you have still contact with Larry Lalonde?
No, not that I know of.
All right.
Thrash
it. Before we talk about this fantastic and you. Now I want to know how is more the album, the new album. Now we know only 2 tracks. Is this another video coming out? The next before?
It depends on
this one. We're in discussion about it. We're trying to get the storyline together. We have some ideas, but nothing really concrete.
Let's give Jochen a shout out. And thanks, because he connected you guys to us. Jochen from Daredevil Records.
Yeah.
Jochen
is great. Jochen, what's up?
Yes.
Hey, Jochen. Grand Massive.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, and of course, play solos on your record. Just send me the stuff, and me and Mark can put something on it. We'll have to, just figure that out. Contact me later.
Jochen, wir müssen echt sprechen, weil ich collect ja immer merchandise for fans. You see, our fan club is active and every day they are on fire. And I ask always our guests if we can have a little fan package. And if Jochen could help us out, with some CDs, would be perfect to raffle out to our fan club. Every Friday we have our special day. Let's talk about the crazy story about Straight as the Crowbar Flies. What is the story?
Yeah.
And I see already Mark is already.
Well, it's like many things. Something happens and you take that and you run with that idea of it. So anyways, I had this friend and I really needed a place to set up the studio. I was trying to practice engineering, okay? And that was, you know, okay, I did a whole lot of stuff like that, but she really helped me out a lot by allowing me to set up a studio in her barn. But at some point, she was really trying to get my attention. And luckily I had just closed the studio barn door when I hear this, wow. And I was like, whoa. So I hunkered down and I looked out there later, and there was the crowbar was right there on the ground. So I was like, wow, far out, straight as the crowbar flies.
Okay. All right. That's the story.
Almost hit him
You,
in the head.
I'm sticking to it.
you have some ideas, I mean, some yeah, memories of the shooting, the recording. Andy, some crazy stories about when you record or you shoot a video.
Crazy story.
I mean, so we got together with George Anderson. He's been our video guy. He's awesome. He has his own band called From Hell, where he does a huge production with lots of people on stage, very demonic. But he's into videos, and basically we went down and recorded us playing in Oakland Soundwave Studios, us playing the song, and then later on, George and I and Mark went up and filmed the acting bits up in Santa Rosa with the belly dancer that we got at the last minute, because we had a whole nother plan going, and then the person that was supposed to be in the video got COVID. So at the very last minute, we scrambled, and George knew the belly dancer, so we just decided to run with that idea, and she gives birth to Mark in the middle of the video there, and he comes dancing out the womb singing natural soprano. So we had to add that into the video, and it came out pretty funny. So we just like having fun and keeping things light, and also playing at a super high level.
You know, thank you, you old motherfuckers. See you soon.
Totally.
Let's take a picture for the social media stuff. You know, I can do. Yeah. I can only press the button, but I count to 3, and you make some. And yeah. 1, 2, 3, action. Yes. Okay. And now I play your video, and I need something similar to this. Let's check it out. Where is it? Here we go. Watch.
This is Mike Torelli from Holy Mother.
Greg from Holy Mother.
Wayne from Holy Mother.
And you're watching Metalheads Forever.
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 And I need something like this from you.
Yeah, sure.
In blind illusion, crazy style. Okay, without me, and you can count in. I edit later. Okay, can we do it right now?
We can go 1, 2, 3. We are Blind Illusion, and you are watching Metalheads Forever.
That's it. Okay.
Okay.
And
1, 2.
We are Blind Illusion.
And you are watching Heavy
Metalheads Forever.
I did it wrong. It's Metalheads Forever. Shit.
I think it's fucked up, but we can do it again.
We do it again.
We do.
We are Blind Illusion, and you're watching.
Wait, without me. And
let Andy count.
1, 2, 3, 4.
We are Blind Illusion. And you're watching Metalheads Forever.
Well, I love a dog's voice. It's very.
I know
dominant.
nothing.
Very, very dominant.
Right. It says us too. Both of them are all.
Yes, very cool. Thank you.
Doug, do one by yourself now.
Yeah. All right.
Hi, this is Doug Piercy from Blind
Illusion. I am Blind Illusion.
Yeah. Very cool, guys. We have 2 more songs, and from the album, let me see, 2018. Why 2018? Because it was the year, or what is the reason for
it?
Ran out of
like
ideas.
A calling card to let people know
Ran out of titles.
what we were doing, and it was that right now, you know, because there's so many demos of Blind Illusion going around and around forever that you have no clue when anything was. So this particular one, we put it as 2018, and we played, we redid Vengeance Is Mine and Metamorphosis so that people could see that we had returned to our roots, you know.
Do you see this? Here's a demo cassette of Evil Chorus from 1983.
83.
Anvil Chorus from '83.
Wow.
That was.
Yes.
Are you on that, Doug? Are you on that, Doug?
Oh yeah, I recorded it.
Are you using the same Marshall cab?
No, but I
Still?
was using the same recorder that I still have, the 4-track
Deadly.
machine.
Is Deadly Weapons on it?
Yes. Definitely.
There's a lot of history, guys.
Yeah. We probably.
And I would
bumped
say
into you at Ruthie's.
we play the from the 2018. Here's Vengeance is Mine. Here we go. Let me see, where is it? Here is it. And action.
They go Vengeance is mine.
Vengeance is mine. I love this track. It's so heavy, and this old school Black Sabbath a little bit inside. I hear the young James Hetfield, to be honest, from the early Metallica. This raspy voice.
That's cool.
You agree, Mark?
Very cool.
Yeah.
It's from 2018, and James doesn't quite sound like that anymore. So that's good.
I think he sounds the same. It's awesome, guys. It's that is old school. This is legendary. I love to talk to guys who are doing this for so long and still rocking and rolling. And so when is the next time you coming to Europe? Any chance? Any ideas? Any plans?
But the Stormcrusher Festival is set. We'll be there and then we're going to build around that. We're filling in other dates around it right now.
When is it?
Next year.
Next year.
2023. Stormcrusher. What month is that in, Doug?
I think it's the beginning, first week of September. So basically, in 1 year, we have definitely one solid show, but we'll be putting more stuff together around that date, and then possibly earlier too, as well, like in springtime, early summer. So we'll have to see how things get set up with promotion. There's a lot of things in the works right now.
If you want, if you like, and if Hannes agrees, I put you guys together.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
That would be
He's
great.
he's the guy in Austria, I can tell you.
Yeah,
he's
Tom and I
good.
and our management would definitely like to get involved. So,
Yeah, and you are with Tom, our manager. You're connected, and they are working closely together. So it's perfect because he's the guy. He can set up something really cool for you guys.
Hell
yeah! Sure.
Awesome. Thank you.
Rad.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this was legendary. This was a great start in the week. Great.
Cool.
All right. Totally
Glad
good.
you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And hello to all the fans and everybody out there. It's been great. You guys rule. And
The fans can find you on Instagram as well. Facebook.
Yeah, there's
Facebook.
Instagrams. Andy has Instagram. I do. So does Tom. I think Mark does.
I do
And-
Facebook.
Yeah.
Blind Illusion official.
All right.
That type of jazz.
For the new album on our social media, we're doing some giveaways too with the pre-sales for the record. We have like a signed, you can't see it, but it's like the handwritten lyric sheet by Mark, and we're all signing those. And then we have an actual replication of the painting that Alvin Petty did for the album cover. It's a cool piece on canvas, but yeah, that's Alvin Petty did the Metallica Creeping Death art and Victims of Deception Heathen album covers way back in the 80s. So it's kind of cool because Mark and Alvin have been friends since then.
Yep.
The connection is there. You can hear it. You can feel it. Alone that Kirk Hammett produced one song. This is already legendary. This is very, very cool.
Big family.
In high school.
Bay Area family.
If your family, please do me a favor. Spread the words that there is a crazy motherfucker in the Philippines who has a show. We need more legendary bands. If you have contact to one of the Metallica guys, I mean, come on, this would be we would freaking out, because Metallica is, let's say, we have three main influences. All bands, it's always the same. It's AC/DC, it's Metallica, that is Iron Maiden, and Judas Priest, of course, Black Sabbath. If you can get one of these guys in the show, this will do be freaking out, because we have a lot of great guests already, but the big guys like Kirk Hammett, this would be a killer, man. All right, the next big name is Marco Mendoza. Marco Mendoza is our next big name guest in September.
Cool.
Number 12.
All right.
Awesome.
Yeah, great guy.
Oh,
He played with all big ones already. Mark, Tom, Andy, Doug, it was a pleasure. It was an honor. Thank you so much. Stay healthy. Keep metal alive. And
will.
you're the living. You're Mark's face is the living proof that metal survives everything. Even a proto-molecule, it survives.
Yeah.
Proto-molecular.
All right.
All right.
That's our last song from the new album. Comes out October 7th, if I'm correct.
Yes, that's correct.
On Hammerheart Records.
Hammerheart Records, and greetings. And
Basically 1 month
thanks
from
again
now.
to Jochen from Daredevil Records who made this happen.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
Jochen.
thank you.
Yeah.
Go dog.
And Tom Kindorf who set up everything perfectly. All right. I would say last song, Proto-Molecule. Thank you so much. Stay heavy.
Right on.
I salute
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Jetzt sind Blind Illusion. Raise the horns, raise the beers, and give a lot of beers now for Blind Illusion. You can see something very yellow now because everybody starts drinking now.
Prost!
Prost. Doc, say something in German. You speak German.
Yeah.
Ja, ein bisschen. Was wollen Sie, frag mich was. Ich versuche mein Bestes zu antworten.
Sag was Schönes zu unseren Fans da draußen, zu unseren Heavy Metal Fans. Irgendwas Schönes.
Ich wünsche euch alles einen schönen Abend mit viel Saufen und bloß kein Problem mit Polizei haben und nicht zu viel randalieren und nicht alles kaputt machen, zerstören, ruinieren, ins Flammen gehen lassen und so weiter. Right, Seth?
Yeah, Doc, this was very, very polite.
No,
And don't forget the whorehouse.
Oh, yeah. No,
Mark, Tom, Andy, Doc, thank you so much. It was fantastic, legendary. Blind Illusion and Proto-Molecule from the new album, Wrath of the
Metal
Gods.
Forever.
Metal Forever. Metalheads Forever.
Metalheads forever.
Yes. I salute you guys.
Liebe Leute, drückt auf die Glocke hier, weil ihr müsst unbedingt mitkriegen, wenn hier wieder was Neues läuft. Auf die Glocke drücken! Ganz wichtig!
Jawohl, mit metallischen Support von Metalheads Forever. Das Hard Summer Festival. Und erstmal Dankeschön an Blind Illusion. Was für eine geile Band. Die Oldfellas, die haben es drauf. Die machen noch Vollgas. Genau so muss es. Nach so vielen Jahren immer noch rocken und einen Spaß dabei haben. Das ist doch ein Role Model. So muss es sein. Geil. Hat Spaß gemacht. Ich hoffe, euch auch da draußen. Und willkommen zur Aftershow Party. Ich habe heute, wie viel haben wir denn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Videos. 6 Videos gibt es noch. Und bleibt dran. Ist wert. Sehr, sehr cool ist. Habe ich noch bearbeitet für euch. Und losgehen dort mit Words of Farewell und Gaia Demise. Hier sind Words of Farewell.
So in pain, quivering as she bites away in
Akademie, jawohl. Das sind Words of Farewell. Geht gut ab. Ja, kaum ist der Christoph da, gehen die Zahlen hoch. Das ist doch wunderbar. So muss es sein. Danke dir. Unser Henker, wenn der kommt, dann rumpelt es in den Karton. Da haben sie immer Angst davor. Ne? Also da, sehr gut. Wunderbar. Schaut gut aus. Ja. Ja, was habe ich denn noch ausgesucht? Eine Band, die habe ich glaube ich erst einmal gespielt und die sind so cool und Rectify heißen die und Obey ist der Song und wir sagen, lassen wir es raus und geben wir Vollgas. Sehr, sehr cool. Rectify, Obey. Ja, geile Stimme hat er. Irgendwie, erinnert mich ein bisschen an Nazareth. Ja, der McCafferty, ein bisschen Ähnlichkeit so. Sehr, sehr cool. Ja, der nächste war lange nicht mehr gespielt. Ich habe so viel, jetzt muss ich echt mal wieder mal die alten Dinge rausgraben, die schon vor über ein Jahr mal da waren, nämlich Uwe Lulis. Und wer ist Uwe Lulis? Natürlich von Accept. It's a Uwe Lulis Project, Emerald in the Dark. Here we go and Attacke. Richtig geil. Uwe Lulis Project, Emerald in the Dark. Ja, geht ab wie Sau. So, jetzt machen wir einen Abstecher nach Hollywood. Habt ihr Lust auf Hollywood jetzt? Ich schon. 10 Cent Revenge heißt die Band. Cooles Video. Hier sind 10 Cent Revenge und Hollywood.
Shadow and a bottle of wine. She was bit by a viper, its venom never slowed her down. So a kiss on the sunset strip and her heart made no sound. She could freeze to death, but she never stepped across that line. Miss Kim telling stories on the border just south of Mexico. Burning red as the whiskey, getting down with the sound of Gabazo. A star. Did her time on the rewind. Fast forward in the back of her car. Rolling into the twilight. Big news on the radio. Got a life with a metal cat. Taking hits on a microphone.
Cent Revenge Hollywood. Ich liebe solche Videos. Geil. Das macht richtig Spaß, ja. So, und jetzt gehen wir mal zurück in die 80er oder was schon Anfang 90er. Ihr wisst es mit sicher besser. Eine alte deutsche Band. Ja, na zwar Trans Am. Trans Am und geiler Song Born to Boogie und here we go. Jawohl, Oldschool, Trans Am, Born to Boogie. So, liebe Freunde, morgen gehen wir mexikanisch essen. Habt ihr Lust? Morgen ist eine geile Band am Start. Das Interview ist allerdings schon aufgezeichnet, schon im Juli, aber ein geiles Interview geworden. Geile Jungs, geiler Soundtrack, kann ich gleich sagen, wer auf diesen melodischen Power Metal steht und natürlich auch für die Mädels morgen, leck mir mal was, die haben Menge, die Jungs, absolut coole Band und total sympathisch, kann ich gleich sagen. Ein Spaß war das und ein schönes, langes Interview geworden und morgen am Start, morgen sind Seit Januar. Einschalten, seid mit dabei, kann gleich sagen, das ist morgen wieder ein Highlight, ein Schmankerl, wer auf melodischen Power Metal steht, morgen passiert's. Morgen sind hier Seit Januar und der letzte Song heute Abend ist No Surrender. Danke fürs Zuschauen, danke fürs Chatten, danke, dass ihr wieder mit dabei wart und teilt die Sendung mit euren Freunden auf Facebook oder was. Einfach und Like natürlich nicht vergessen und wer da draußen noch vor der Tür steht, einfach mal die Glocke betätigen, dass ihr werdet immer informiert, wann wir live sind, nämlich immer von Montag bis Freitag ab 20 Uhr. Okay, das war's gewesen. Dankeschön und bis morgen. Bleibt gesund, werdet gesund und Metalheads Forever. Hier sind Seit Januar und No Surrender. Servus.
And you are a fan now. You're a fan. And as a fan, you will never ever forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
Hit that bell.
Way
Goddamn.
down below.